walking home from a party late at night. I'm just enjoying the beauty of the city at night when I notice a man walking about a block behind me. 2 blocks later he's getting closer. So I cross the street. What a coincidence. His route needs him to cross too. Half a block later I cross back. Oh hell no. Yeah, he crossed back too. About 2-3 blocks ahead I see a homeless person pushing a shopping cart. I start jogging towards them and call out, "Excuse me? Excuse me? I'm so sorry, but do you mind if I walk with you a bit?" Because, turn back towards my little shadow friend. This asshole doesn't think I notice him following me. Homeless person turns out to be elderly black lady. She doesn't miss a trick, pulls out this big ass Bowie knife from her cart and waves it at the man in the lamplight so he can see. "What you gonna do? You wanna play? Go home." Guy fucks off fast. She was astounded that I approached someone like her, especially since it was not immediately obvious she was female from a distance in the dark. I was like, I knew he was trouble. I figured even if you were a man, best take my chances that you weren't. Walked with me for a bit and we chatted about stuff. Nice lady.
It was around midnight in a clearing for picnics in a large park that lots of people hike through. Pitch black, no one around. I was with my boyfriend at the time. We got pretty frisky at one of the picnic tables. And I'm facing a river which is sort of illuminated from the moonlight. He's facing the solid black tree line. We're trying to have a good time and he becomes completely still and in a low voice says, "There's a man coming towards us." I turn my head, see only a white t-shirt approaching us at a brisk walking pace from the trees. And that's all I needed to see. I ran, knowing my BF would catch up. He did. I was never down for midnight forest stuff again. Haha, edit. The man in the white shirt probably got within 25 feet of us by the time I had my shit together enough to bolt. Still freaks me out. He said nothing, just walked very fast towards us. Neither of us looked back.
Well, friggity fuck that.
Oh goddammit, I forgot the one that actually made and fall down clutching my heart. I was camping and some of the group had gone off on a late night stroll. After a while, me and a friend got bored and decided to go look for them. It was pretty much rolling grassland hills with few trees out there, so we figured it wouldn't be hard. It was also unearthly quiet, other than the occasional distant owl or coyote sounds. So we were whispering and being very chill. There was pretty good moon so we hadn't brought lights either. Anyway, I finally see someone standing under a tree on the crest of this hill, so I go up there first. I call out quietly and don't get a response. Again, no response. Kinda annoyed, I just strut up there, but I'm realizing something looks weird about this person I've been seeing. They're holding their arms over their head and the proportions aren't right. But I think that was all kinda subconscious, because I didn't do anything different until I got close enough to see that it wasn't a person at all, but a freaking coyote that someone had flayed and strung up to the tree by the limbs like some kind of totem. I literally fell backwards in shock. Turns out the woman who owned the property was no fan of coyotes coming after her livestock. She also woke us all up in the middle of the night once with sustained AR-15 fire. Like 20 shots. Someone who lived near there just said, "Oh, she must have found a whole pack of them. Go back to sleep." I walk at night in my rural area regularly. I've encountered black bears, coyotes, bobcats, angry deer, and everything on down, with no real concern. But the creepiest encounter was a little black pickup truck with rainbow and unicorn stickers. Bubblegum pop music blaring, and it smelled like cotton candy when it passed me. First time it passed me it swerved to hit me. I jumped out of the way easily. I thought nothing of it really, just figured they were startled by seeing me at night with my reflective gear. The truck circled back and comes at me again. I saw it coming this time and grabbed my dog up just in time to jump into a ditch. I heard little girl laughter, high-pitched and maniacal. The tiny truck circled back for a third go at me. But by then I was hiding in my neighbor's shrubbery. I watched it slowly drive down the road, hearing giggling as it passed me. Fortunately it kept on going and I made it home just fine.
I used to run at night. One night I ran under a tree and went through a spiderweb face first. I freaked out and flung my head towards my hands to wipe the web away. When I did it, I felt something big and heavy plop onto the top of my head, like a squirrel. I grabbed it and screamed. Turns out it was just my ponytail flopping forward, but man, it was a terrifying 10 seconds. Lots of flailing.
During my freshman year I was walking home from the bus stop with a neighbor, girl. I noticed a gray van coming up Main Street as we rounded the corner. Her house was 2 houses up and mine was around the next left. She turns to walk up to her door, and I keep walking while still noticing this gray van creeping to a halt. When I hear a car door shut, I turn and see her about halfway to her door while this guy starts to jog towards her. Suddenly he stops and looks at me for a second, and runs back to his van and whips around and leaves. Scared the shit out of me. I don't think my neighbor even noticed a thing.
My girlfriend and I had driven down an old dirt road that ran beside a lake on one side with mountains on the other. We were looking for unexplored territory to hike in. The dirt road became a trail and eventually was swallowed up entirely by the forest. Once the path became impassable by car, we got out and hiked for quite some time and began making our way back to the car as the sun was going down. It was a challenge getting the car turned around, but I finally managed and we were off. It was slow going as it was a shitty road and getting dark fast. Suddenly we came to fork in the path that hadn't been visible coming the other way. Neither of us had any idea whether to go right or left, so I just picked randomly, hoping that both would end up taking us back to the main road. As we rounded a small curve in the road, our headlights fall upon a man dragging a large hockey duffel bag off the trail into the woods. As soon as the lights hit him, he just froze completely still. Driving past him felt like an eternity because we couldn't have been doing more than 5 miles an hour, due to the shitty road. My girlfriend and I didn't say a word to each other until we were well past him, at which point we were like, WTF was that? And then the road ended. Just like where we had stopped the first time, the forest had swallowed up this part of the road. We were going to have to turn around and drive by the man with the human-sized duffel bag again. I told my girlfriend to buckle up and hold on tight because at the first sign of trouble I was going to gun it. We came to the spot where the man was and he was nowhere to be seen. We eventually made it to the right path and got the fuck out of there. The weirdest thing about it was that there wasn't a vehicle anywhere near this guy for 50 miles in either direction. We would have seen it if there had been. We traveled as far as possible both ways and there just wasn't a place to pull off of the road. How the hell did he get there? Where was he going? What was in the bag?